going out back Australia. I'm going out back Australia. See you there.
G'day everyone, especially to David. Now David has just contacted and asked about rear door caravans and why we don't do a lot of rear door. Well, Dave, there's lots of reasons why we prefer the front door over the rear door. And as it turns out, I happen to have a Baroma here. Now, Baroma unfortunately went out of business a few years ago, but we got one here for sale and it's a rear door van. So rear doors did have their time where they were quite popular, but let me just go through some of the reasons why we prefer the front or mid door to the rear door. So looking at this setup right here now, first thing you'll notice that with a rear door, the distance between the awning and the door is fairly small. So when this door's open, we don't get a lot of weather protection from the awning. In fact, if it was raining, you'd probably have to keep the door closed because the weather will come in. So that's one reason. Another reason is that you'll notice on doors that they have the vents down the bottom here. Now the vents are a requirement for the gas laws, the gas regulations, to allow air to be able to come in from the top and push any gas out and down out through the door. That's the idea of that gas vent. But what it does do is it creates an environment where it's easy for dust to get in. The dustiest part of this caravan is right there, right behind those rear wheels. So if you're going to get dust ingress into the caravan, this is actually the place you're going to get it. So there's another reason why I prefer front door to rear door, dust ingress. The other one is, you'll note that the step underneath the door is actually at the lowest point behind the wheels. That makes that step very vulnerable. Now it's vulnerable to two things. All the stones spinning off that wheel are going to come up and hit that step. Okay, so you can put a mud flap in there that protects that. That's a good idea. But if you go over lumps and bumps, that's the place that it's most likely to get damaged. So having the step as a vulnerable part of your caravan construction and having that behind the wheels at the lowest point is probably not a good idea. So again, another reason why I prefer that mid door over the front door. The other reason that I prefer this door is when you go into this caravan, generally this is going to be the bathroom. That's not the case on the Baroma, because back in these days they were mainly shower toilet combinations. But in modern days, people have been really wanting that separate shower and separate toilet. So you either have the toilet on this side of the van or the toilet on that side. The problem here is, if you have the toilet that side of the van, when you open up the door, the first thing you see is the toilet. If you have the toilet on this side of the van, we've now got to empty your cassette through here, and then we've got things like awning arms that can be in the way and so forth. So purely from a design perspective, having the shower this side and the toilet that side is a better design, where you take the toilet cassette from the offside. But when you've got a rear door, that doesn't work as well. So there is an answer to that. You keep your door closed, so if someone walks in, they're not seeing your toilet. That closes up the van again. Again, not something that I particularly like. You know what? We're just going to do a little bit of magic and we're going to go to a mid door, and I want to show you a couple of other things too. Here we go again. Okay, so here we're at a mid door caravan. So you're going to notice, first off, the awning. It's almost in the center. So with that awning out, opening and closing this door, it really doesn't matter what the weather's like. So big plus. You'll also notice that the step is towards the front. So well, we put mud flaps front and rear this anyway to protect it, but this step is not vulnerable to being at the lowest point. The other thing you're going to notice is that the vent, and we supply cover, but that's another story, the vent's at the front of the wheels, not behind the wheels. Now, I should also point out that having the shower this side, which is our preferred side to have it, shower this side, toilet that side, and the size of our shower doesn't permit us in a 20'6", because the shower comes to here, doesn't permit us to put the door there, it'd be over the wheel arch. So the only way we can do it with that beautiful ensuite design is to actually lengthen up the caravan. So here's the thing, we can do rear door vans in anything over 21'6". So 21'6" and over, we can actually put a rear door in there. But let's go back to this mid door, and have a look at the other advantages that the front door's got. Now, one of the advantages is that if you happen to be sitting, I'll just show you now. I'll quickly whip inside here. If you happen to be sitting at your chair here, you've got your feet up, you're relaxing, you're having a whale of a time, and a visitor comes, they come to the door, actually, you can see them. You can actually talk to them without even inviting them into the caravan. That, in my book, is also a really good thing to have. When they're the other end, you've sort of got to, they're going to come in and want to walk in, and you know what they're going to do? They're going to walk in and sit on your bed. Now, a number of people have said to me, but that's what they do with the front door. They sit on the bed. It's got nothing to do with your door location. It's got to do with space between people, and it's the obvious place that they're going to sit to keep their distance, because we'll want a bit of distance, particularly we're not that friendly with them, is we're going to sit at the end of the bed there. So, you know, I think that invites it no differently to being over there. But another thing I like about the front door, and this is the safety aspect. Here in the kitchen, if there was any disaster going to happen, if there was a fire happen in your caravan, it's most likely to happen where your stove is. Anywhere where this gas is likely to be. That's this end of the caravan. And it's most likely to happen, if at all, when you're in bed. If you did get a fire here and you're in bed, I know where I would want the door to be. And I'm thinking you might be thinking the same thing right now. The closest possible place you can to your bed so you can get hell out of Dodge. So again, I think from a safety perspective, the front door. So let's analyse all this. Certainly with a nice big ensuite, having the toilet the right side of the caravan, I'm now able to produce a caravan that's slightly shorter. That slightly shorter caravan is slightly lighter and slightly cheaper. So there's one big reason to have the front door. I've got better protection, it's safer, there's less likelihood of damage from stones or rocks or scraping the ground by having the step in the right location. All in all, I don't really think there's any competition. You know, we were asked many years ago, you know, about doing rear door vans, and we produced some and we put them up against their front door vans, and no one ever bought the rear doors. In fact, I think we've only done a handful of rear door vans over the years. Everyone loves the front door. So, you know, at the end of the day, our recommendation is this design. It works beautifully, it works to perfection, it's very popular. This is the way we believe you should go. I'll leave the rest up to you to choose. Thank you for watching one more time again. Cheers for now.